Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be talking about the atomic meltdown of Ben Shapiro because he went off on one of his employees and in doing so managed to obliterate the reputation that he has been working for years. And this is a teachable moment. This is very, very critical that you, if you're trying to build a business or you're trying to build a YouTube channel, that you understand this. It is never a good look for you as the boss to come out and publicly drag your employee. You deal with this behind the scenes, and I know this goes without saying, but it is so important because if you deal with this behind the scenes, it allows you the opportunity to have a conversation and then use that to build something that helps the brand and helps each individual talent. For example, if Ben had gone to Candace Owens and said, look, I disagree with you vehemently on these things that you said. I'm going to call you out publicly and challenge you on my social media account to a debate exclusively on the Daily Wire. And we're going to make it very clear that you have this position, I have this position, and what it does is it does a couple things. Number one, it makes the Daily Wire seem bigger. That there are all of these different opinions and they can have a debate within that realm, and it increases the value of the brand to an outside perspective. Like, oh, these two people from the Daily Wire aren't in lockstep on this, and they're going to actually have a debate where they go at it respectfully. That would be huge because you can't get that from the mainstream media. In fact, you can't get that from a lot of independent content creators. So that would allow them to differentiate themselves and also to look pretty good. We're going to solve this with a debate. That is what's best for business. Ben Shapiro didn't do what's best for business. He, at a public event, standing on a table or whatever, called Candace Owens disgraceful, disparaged her, used ad hominem attacks, didn't do anything to address her arguments, just tried to tear her down. She is his employee. Do you understand? This is terrible. No matter if you agree with Ben or you agree with Candace, this isn't the right way to go about it. Because you can have substantive disagreements, but at the end of the day, Ben Shapiro is her boss. And for him to go on social media and to tell her that she should quit over what really is a misunderstanding, or at least on Ben Shapiro's part. So in response, or I don't know if this is in response to Ben Shapiro, but here's what Candace Owens says. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be the children of God. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely, for my sake. No one can serve two masters. Either you will hate the one and love the other, or you will be devoted to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve both God and money. Christ is king. Ben Shapiro took this as, Candace, if you feel that taking money from the Daily Wire somehow comes between you and God, by all means, quit. This is a childish, pathetic, impotent, 5'4" type of short man energy response. This is pathetic. This is the guy that says facts over feelings. Hey, Candace, you quoted scripture. You're talking about God. Hey, you should quit. What a pathetic man. I mean, deeply, deeply pathetic. And this is coming from the guy, by the way, that said this.
Jewish point of view, where we don't believe in the divinity of Christ. I
Right.
think that there you can make an argument that the Gospels, which were written,
He was just a prophet, and right?
No. We don't even believe he was a prophet.
What do you think he was? What do you guys think?
What do I think he was historically? I think he was a Jew who tried to lead a revolt against the Romans and got killed for his trouble. Just like a lot of Jewish point of view, where we don't believe in the.
Yeah, Ben Shapiro has been wrong about nearly every major large-scale issue. So I don't understand why he has the fan base that he does. I really don't. I genuinely do not get it. But he does. And this response is so unprofessional and so immature and so ridiculous. Every person watching this should use this as a litmus test of what not to do. If you're ever wondering, how should I act as a boss, as a content creator, where I have an editor, or I have people working for me, or I'm working with people, or I have partners, this is not the way to go. This is childish, petty, and pathetic. And makes Ben look smaller than he already looks. Which is saying something. So, and by the way, keep in mind, let's take a look. This has been viewed 24 million times. Candace Owens, this has been viewed 50 million times. 68,000 likes. This is 30,000 likes. And then Candace Owens coming in with this tweet, 75,000 likes. You have been acting unprofessional and emotionally unhinged for weeks now. And we have all had to sit back and allow it. And have all tried to exercise exceeding understanding for your raw emotion. But you cross a certain line when you come for scripture and read yourself into it. I will not tolerate it. And she's absolutely right. Ben Shapiro is so egotistical that he's literally reading himself into what she said here. Now, subtly, you could say, well, of course she's talking about Ben. But she doesn't call him out by name. There's no reason to publicly address this. This could be taken by most people as a general statement. This could be about Ben. This could be about Israel. This could be about Trump. Who the hell knows? It's just a general statement that's nothing's wrong with it. And he tells her to quit. When your boss publicly tells you that you doing this, that you should quit, that is a huge problem for Ben and for the Daily Wire. It makes them seem small. It makes them seem like the Daily Wire exists at the whim of Ben Shapiro. That's what it makes it seem like. Because in no world is Candace, if you feel that taking money from the Daily Wire somehow comes between you and God, by all means quit. Nowhere in here did she say anything like that. He read himself into it, literally, and tells her, "Hey, yeah, you should quit. If you believe in the scripture, you should quit." It's embarrassing. Must be too expensive to fire her. Would require paying out all or some of the contract. Anyways, chill out, man. You've been wrong about most everything from Trump in 2016 to COVID, the coup, to the Middle East wars you supported. If anyone needs to pray for humility, it's you. God damn. Why don't you get off Twitter and talk to your employee face to face? Watching her publicly execute on the timeline has been more gruesome than some of the footage we've seen coming out of God. Oh, God, shoe on head. Whew. Ben Shapiro got triggered by Candace Owens quoting the Bible. Yeah, no, he absolutely did. He absolutely did. Leaving the Daily Wire would probably be the best possible thing for her career. We're going to follow you, Candace, FYI. Looks like you're having trouble controlling the height of the flames, Ben. Now, keep in mind, Candace Owens was the most ardent defender of Ben Shapiro in the Daily Wire when Steven Crowder was calling out the Daily Wire. She was their most ardent attack dog. So the fact that Ben would pick a fight with her is even more stupid. There is no benefit to this. There is no upside. And that's why we're talking about this today, ladies and gentlemen. Not just to rag on Ben Shapiro. Not just to make fun of him. I mean, that might be a little perk, but it's important that we learn from the lessons this has to teach. And what not to do. How not to act. Don't sabotage your career over this. If you're feeling emotional, if you're feeling raw, that's fine. But the irony of all of this is that Ben Shapiro has criticized Trump for not having people in place to take away his phone. For years, Ben Shapiro has railed on Trump, saying, how could he possibly tweet this? How could he do this? And the irony of ironies, Ben Shapiro comes out and he doesn't have anyone to take his phone away, to tell him to stop, saying, hey, this is a disastrous idea. Maybe you should keep yourself in check. That is the ultimate delicious irony in all of this. Is that Ben Shapiro ultimately has been damaged, not destroyed, but damaged by the very thing that he said disqualified Trump from winning the presidency. It is incredible. And yes, Ben Shapiro has been wrong about every major issue of our time. Every major issue of our time, Ben Shapiro has been wrong. But that's an aside. That's not even relevant to this video per se. It's just something that I feel very strongly about. It's true. From Jesus not being king to Trump to just about everything, because Ben Shapiro is a California Ivy League school liberal. He's a liberal. On most of the major things, he is on the left. Now, the left doesn't like him because he believes in lower taxes and, basic gun control. Or basic liberties with a firearm. Within reason, of course. But yeah, when it comes to freedoms and stuff, Ben Shapiro doesn't really care. He believes that the vaccines should have been mandated. So, the purpose of this, ladies and gentlemen, is that you learn from this. We learn from this. We grow from this. I hope this video helps people in that they can look at it and say, this is something that I'm going to avoid myself in the future. If you can avoid the pitfall that Ben fell into here, which is being so arrogant and narcissistic. And by the way, to tie this all back in to entertainment, what Ben did there is exactly what you see from major Hollywood executives. That ego, that talking down to the employee, that being unable to control their emotions, that being irrational on that level. That is how Hollywood executives are all the time. It's how Kathleen Kennedy acted. It's how Bob Iger acted. And if you think that the Daily Wire is going to make Benke successful, Benke, their show, if you think they're going to make it successful with people like this running it, you are out of your mind. It requires something detached from that. Because clearly, Ben Shapiro is too emotionally immature to be able to talk to his employee like a human being. And to use that as an advantage for the brand and to debate both sides. Have the penultimate debate between somebody who is more, let's say more opaque in their support of Israel and somebody who's a staunch Israel supporter. Somebody who's more on the, Palestinian side to a degree in a way, and somebody who's more, staunchly Israeli, pro-Israel. That could have been an interesting conversation. Instead, they flushed it down the toilet along with Ben's reputation and his goodwill, if he had built up any. I never liked Ben, but I know that some people did. I can't explain it, but I'm aware that it exists. Anyway, that'll do it. Thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll see you next time.